Will Smith has long been regarded as one of the most iconic and respected names in film and television, with a career marked by major achievements, international fame, and a reputation that many found admirable and uplifting. But lately, his name has surfaced under very different circumstances. What initially appeared to be a private legal matter between music mogul Diddy and his former partner Cassie has spiraled into something far larger and more complex. As the case developed, it began to implicate other major celebrities, including Will Smith and rapper Meek Mill. While the focus was once on the disturbing claims surrounding Cassie and Diddy's relationship, a flood of fresh evidence, testimonies, documents, and audio recordings has dramatically widened the case's scope. One of the most shocking developments happened in court when certain recordings were played. Though the public hasn't heard them, insiders say the material was so disturbing that it shifted the entire course of the case, plunging the courtroom into stunned silence. What started as a dispute between two individuals has now expanded into a broader probe involving multiple high-profile figures. Investigators are now digging deeper into alleged patterns and connections that go beyond the original claims. With new names surfacing week after week, the spotlight has grown brighter, and the story has morphed into something far more damning. The mention of someone as globally known as Will Smith has pushed public curiosity to new extremes, with fans, media, and legal analysts all watching intently. The investigation is still ongoing, and many are bracing for what might be revealed next. In a particularly chilling twist, closed-door court sessions reportedly included the playback of audio recordings allegedly featuring Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill. Those inside the courtroom described an atmosphere so tense that everything froze once the audio began. No phones allowed, no journalists present, just absolute stillness. Witnesses described it as the kind of silence that gives you goosebumps, a reaction that only follows something truly serious. Although the full contents of the recordings remain undisclosed, insiders claim they were powerful enough to leave everyone shaken. The fact that such major names are tied to confidential and disturbing material has sparked huge waves online, especially as none of it has leaked to the public. The mystery only deepens, fueling speculation and mounting pressure around the case. As the scandal unfolds, more individuals from Diddy's past have chosen to come forward, offering new perspectives and first-hand accounts. Among the most talked about is Dawn Richards, a former member of the girl group Danity Kane, whose testimony has quickly drawn public interest. Because she was part of Diddy's close-knit inner circle during some of the most active years of his career, Danity Kane's Dawn Richards brought a unique and powerful perspective when she chose to speak out. According to reports, she didn't hold anything back as she described her experiences, offering detailed accounts that mirrored what several others had already stated, lending strong support to ongoing claims of disturbing behavior and serious misconduct. Her decision to testify publicly and under oath has been viewed by many as a pivotal moment in the case. But Dawn isn't standing alone. More former colleagues, associates, and individuals who worked alongside Diddy over the years have reportedly come forward, each with their own version of events. Though not all testimonies have been released, sources indicate that many of them tell a consistent and unsettling story that's becoming increasingly hard to dismiss. The fact that these voices are from people who were once personally close to him adds a compelling layer of credibility. They weren't on the outside looking in, they were directly involved, and now they're helping to expose what may have really been going on behind closed doors. One of the most deeply emotional moments to emerge from the courtroom happened when Diddy's daughter was seen leaving visibly shaken and distressed. According to several accounts, her demeanor was filled with emotion, her expression heavy, and her movements tense. Witnesses described the scene as quietly devastating, highlighting just how serious and personal the situation has become. It's believed that her reaction followed the playback of audio recordings heard in private sessions. Clips that, according to insiders, left the room in a frozen state of shock. Though the content of the recordings hasn't been publicly revealed, those present suggested the material was intense enough to trigger such a raw response. The sight of Diddy's own child, so emotionally impacted, brought a human dimension to the legal drama that many couldn't ignore. For many, it served as a stark reminder that this case is more than headlines or tabloid buzz. It involves real people, real families, and lasting consequences. Her response has fueled online conversations about the emotional toll this case is taking on those closest to the individuals involved. It's also intensified questions around the weight of the evidence being presented and its effects on everyone entangled in the matter, not just the accused or accusers, but their families as well. What started out as a case centered solely on Diddy has now widened to include other high-profile names like Will Smith. In recent days, old footage of Will, from interviews to public appearances, has resurfaced across the internet. This wave of renewed scrutiny followed allegations made by a former assistant who came forward with bold claims about Will's private conduct. Though nothing has been proven, the statements have amplified existing speculation and ignited growing public curiosity. As more people revisit old clips and question past moments, attention has shifted toward the relationships and power dynamics within Hollywood's inner circles. Will, once celebrated for his clean-cut and charismatic public persona, is now facing a wave of scrutiny he's never experienced before. This change in public perception has led to an explosion of online commentary, viral reaction videos, and a fresh reevaluation of interviews that were previously seen as lighthearted or harmless. Once the names of other celebrities began to surface, online communities quickly sprang into action across platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Users began gathering clips, screenshots, and interviews that seemed to link Diddy and Will Smith. Some shared old photos from events, while others analyzed red carpet moments or behind-the-scenes footage, looking for hints. These digital investigators have kicked off their own probes, forming timelines and theories that are rapidly going viral. Whether or not their efforts have legal impact, one thing is clear: the online world is locked in, and their content is pushing the narrative further. The massive wave of material being studied continues to keep the story alive well beyond court proceedings. Meek Mill, another big name unexpectedly tied to the case, reacted strongly after hearing he was linked to the alleged audio discussed in court. Rather than staying silent, Meek took to social media, posting several emotional and defensive tweets. Instead of cooling things down, his posts fueled more public curiosity and debate. Many interpreted his reaction as surprise, while others wondered if it pointed to something deeper. His sudden presence in the story added another twist to an already intense case. What began as a situation centered on Diddy has now grown far beyond that.